I've spent a lot of time here in quarantine just researching and getting a lot of pleasure from my books. This is where I get off. So here we are in my dining room slash library. I spent hours in here, honestly, and I wanted to share with you some of my favorite books that I go to time and time again by some of my favorite artists and photographers. So let's begin. So the first book that I wanted to share with you guys is by one of my favorite photographers and a hugely influential artist that has influenced a lot of my work is by the photographer Helmut Newton. I recently saw a documentary called The Bad and the Beautiful in Berlin, and what I discovered about Helmut Newton is that he was born in Berlin, and I didn't know that. What I love about Helmut Newton's work is how he really loved women, and he loved the strength of women, and he was unafraid of their sexuality and their power. And I love a lot of this erotic photography from back in the day in the 70s. And what I love so much about the 70s that not only was there punk and new wave and the beginnings of hip hop and disco, but there was also the sexual revolution, and I think he really captured the energy of that. If you follow me on Instagram, you know how much of a huge fan I am of Keith Haring. I was in LA last year, and I went into this vintage bookstore and I found a copy of the super rare book called The Journey of the Radiant Baby, and I sort of really freaked out because it's if you're a book nerd, it's like a super rare book. And it just shows a lot of drawings and art that Keith is not normally seen. And I sort of love these pictures of John Lennon's son, Sean Lennon, playing guitar and doing art with Keith Haring. I'm just always blown away by Keith's work. I'm such a huge fan. And the third and final book that I wanted to share with you guys is by one of my favorite people in the world, Dijon. It's actually two books in one. One side is called Fetish and the other side is called Burlesque. And what I love about Dita is just her attention to detail in burlesque. There is no one that does it better. And low-key, I get a lot of beauty secrets from Dita. If you move beyond the visual, she's actually a really smart businesswoman. And I really have a lot of respect for women that create a place in the world for themselves through their art. If you can find it, it's also a super rare book. I like to find super rare books. It's like book porn for me. It's called Burlesque by Dijon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mini tour of my library slash living room or dining room. Until we meet again on the dance floor, this is Honey Dijon, also known as Sweet Pussy Potato Pauline, signing out. Peace, love, and most importantly, take care of yourself and the ones you love.